Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing, well, a smaller review obviously, but one of a newer figure and of the new movie, which is Transformers 1, and this being Megatron from Transformers 1, which honestly, I'm probably going to be spoiling a little bit by accident while I'm talking about this figure, so please go back, watch Transformers 1 before watching this. Or if you have, stay, continue watching. I do have another Transformers 1 video on here. It's an older, well, I say it's an older one, but like it was one from before I saw the movie, so which had my reviews of Optimus Prime, the Studio Series version, the the mainline version of Sentinel Prime, and of Alpha Trion. So I do know. And honestly, I gotta say, this figure, really good tank. It is a surprisingly good and very cohesive tank, even though it's not really an H tank, even though it's kind of like one. This is definitely what would be considered a Cybertronian tank, because, like, just look at it. Like, it looks like the treads just go along the entirety of what is the leg here, even though it's just this one part here and back here where the treads are, which are in just two places. And sadly, yes, this figure doesn't really roll, but then again, I don't know where they would have put them. I mean, I know where they would have, like down here on the bottom, but I don't know if they had the parts slash the budget to do that. But then again, I feel like the slide's pretty fine. So yeah, so here we have him in his Cybertronian tank mode, which is honestly, it's definitely Cybertronian. So there we go. This guy is Blast Effect compatible. Just let me grab some real quick. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. Oh. So, well, actually, I'm kind of surprised here. These little posts aren't Blast Effect compatible, it's just the main cannon, so unless you force the Blast Effects on like that, and I wouldn't recommend doing that because it would stretch the blast effect, then, like, yeah, that works. So, yeah, that's the only spot that's Blast Effect compatible, weirdly enough. Even though these look like they're Blast Effect compatible, even though they're just, like, short. So, yeah. So, let's get some comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to his the friend and arch rival, especially near the end of the movie, Optimus Prime. And honestly, I feel like this. I honestly feel like Megatron and Optimus. I know Optimus was part of the new A level assortment, meaning that this came in an entire box by itself of 8 figures. But I do kind of wish the A level was shared between these two, mainly so that way we could get this guy at the same time we get Optimus, because it's arguably both their movies. Like, it's both their movie. Because, like, you see the rise of a great leader versus the fall of a friend. Like, kind of sucks. But hey, I'm happy to have found this guy, so let's continue. So here he is next to the mainline Alpha Trion. And come here, you. Here is Sentinel, who I can't wait to get the Studio Series version because this guy ain't bad. I do feel like he could have been done a bit better, and that new one has like a cool transforming gimmick in its robot mode. But then again, considering what happens to the guy, like, and what he does, he's. But yeah, shut up, me. But yeah, so then also it's weird that we have to wait for Alita 1 and for Bumblebee essentially next year, when, like, I know designing and prototyping is weird, but it's weird that we don't have the entirety of the main hero cast, essentially. But yeah. So, let's get into the transformation. start off with, just take off these little side cannons and remove not the backpack, but do note this comes as a separate part and it's just connected via a 5mm post. So just remove the cannon piece here, then split the cannon barrel, and then set that off to the side, and now we got the main bot to work with. Start off with untab the arms, move them around on the ball joint, move all this down, fold the arms out to the side, and then bring these around so that way you can rotate the entirety of the backpack section here and raise the camera and make sure it tabs in like right there, forming the entirety of the backpack section. So here we got Megatron standing kind of up, so just untab the legs and the chest, and then untab the chest, bring it forward, tab this all together, bring the legs down on connecting them like this, rotate the legs around, and untab this from the feet, and do a very cool like flip around and then fold the feet out, and close all this up to make like the entirety of the lower thigh, leg. So then untab the knees, which are very tight on, which for some reason they click into place. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. Maybe it makes sense for transformation, but otherwise, yeah. So untap the arms, rotate them forward. Also, what the hell? What did I do? Come on. This is the first. 1 second. Okay, got it fixed. Kind of. So, all this back together. Fold the arm. And fold each arm. And rotate the fist forward. And here we have Megatron in robot mode. And honestly, this is a good robot mode design. I do feel like... Okay, slight spoilers for the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, Megatron takes, like, Sentinel's, like, T-Cog out and then put it inside of himself, giving him this upgraded look. But it also makes him bigger. To the point where I think Bumblebee was, like, here-ish, if I had to guess from what I remember from the movie. I do feel like this should have been labeled as D16, and then they do Megatron as a Voyager figure, thus making him a bit bigger. And same thing, honestly, shouldn't have gone... Well, actually, let me put his fusion cannon on here, and also the side gun he had. And these two guns just plug onto the sides here. Just like so. And honestly, I feel like both Megatron and Optimus should have been Voyagers, while these two figures here should have been D16 and Orion packs, respectively. I can understand why they wanted to do Optimus and Megatron first, because those are the iconic names. No one's really going to buy an Orion Pax and a D16, which is a character that, well, while the name gets used a lot in Megatron's origin stuff, the regular pop culture census doesn't really know who D16 is. They wouldn't connect that to Megatron if they heard it, like, in passing conversation. So you understand why they made this Megatron. I feel like they should have saved it for a Voyager figure. Same thing goes for Optimus. So that way they were, like, matching in height. But it is what it is, sadly. But, hey, so here is also Sentinel Prime, who is, ironically, a bit shorter than Megatron. And here's the ever-so-wise Alpha TRION, who I hope gets a figure in the future. Same thing goes for the rest of the Primes designs from, like, Transformers 1, because they look so cool. Like, I hope for a Megatronus design, like, leader class. like, which I know may take a while. And because we got Age of the Primes coming up, it might take a little bit while after that because we got a new Megatron as the Fallen revealed recently. But I can hope. Like, I have a feeling they're going to do it. I'm like, it feels like money sitting on the table, essentially. But yeah. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this in the Optimus and, well, these two review, but you can also take off the backpack piece here to give him a more cleaner silhouette. And honestly, in my opinion, that makes him look a lot better. And hey, since that part's not pinned on, it's not technically damaging the figure, so yeah. So let's get these guys out of the way, and then we can talk posability. So, posability for Megatron, he has a ball joint at the head. So I can do a full 360, though it does weirdly thump into place. Yeah. Ball joints at the shoulders. Arms can go out that far. Can do a full 360. Biceps rotation, that's a full 360. Double bend at the elbow. There is a wrist rotation. Though the fist can kind of get lost in the treads, which is what this forms. There is a waist rotation. It is pretty tight though. Ball joints at the hips. Legs can go forward and back that far. Legs can go out that far. 1 second. There is a full thigh rotation. Knees can bend to over 90. There is an ankle pivot, but you don't really get much. You can get a little bit. And toes can point downwards, which is pretty nice. And, sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that, I had to go take care of something. But yeah, as you can see, the articulation of this guy is honestly really good, and even though I just got him, I haven't really stopped messing with him. Like there's the conversion between the Cybertronian tank. I don't know what we're really calling it. I think, like, M tank, I guess, is the best way to say it. But yeah. So honestly, this guy, really good. Also, still Blast Effect compatible. So I hope, yes, that cannon tip is Blast Effect compatible, and so is the more traditional cannon. But then again, this cannon, I feel like this. I feel like, again, has figures that were based off of early concept art before the actual figure or movie was done. Because in the movie, Megatron gets a triple, like, cannon blaster. Well, this cannon technically does make an appearance in the film. It doesn't stay long. It's really only during the time of when D16 actually gets his cog. Like, the first time he gets his cog, and this is the cannon that, pops out of his arm while he's, choking the crap out of, like, Starscream. Which I do wonder if we will get a figure of, and of all of the Seeker repaints, of which were in the High Guard. Like, but yeah. Also, you can take this off, put these on the arms, and I do kind of like this look a bit better. You can tab in the cannon barrel back here, either on the outside, or you can do it underneath on the inside to hide it a bit more. And also, have it be like a jetpack, which is what we had during the Icon race of the film, kind of, sort of. Even though for that, I prefer doing it where this tip is pointed upwards, and makes it look more like a thruster than anything else. So yeah. So honestly, if you do see this figure on shelves, I honestly say go for it. If you like Transformers 1 Megatron, I have a feeling this is probably going to be the only one we're going to be getting, because this is Studio Series, and even though they introduced the possibility of redos, I'm feeling that for TF1 Megatron, that's not going to happen for a long time. So yeah. So anyway, this has been my review for Transformers 1 Megatron. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Like, comment, and subscribe. All those fun doodads. I'll have a link to all of the videos I've had in the playlist down below. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and this is me signing off. Have a good rest of your night.